What's up, y'all? It's your boy A-Dub. You're watching Say Like a Champ, and today's episode is all about me. Let's get it. Right, yeah, I go by A-Dub pretty much everywhere I go, but my government name, I love it, Alexander James Williams. Very presidential. My parents did a great job with that. I go by a lot of different things, though. AJ, AJW, shortstop, all kinds of different nicknames from my family and all that, but Slowpoke Joe even. I've been called so many different things, but definitely I usually go A-Dub, and then the only thing that's kind of unique is I just spell it with an A and a W. I don't spell out the dub part. Shortstop nickname, my dad always called me shortstop. He still does, even though I'm taller than him. Not way taller than him, but I'm pretty much taller than him. But no, it's funny because I played third base when I played baseball, but he always called me shortstop, and I would always be like, it's third baseman, and that became a little thing. So, from Phoenix, Arizona, born and raised, still in Phoenix, Arizona. Been plenty of places, but I think I'll probably always stay here. This is kind of where it's at for me, you know what I'm saying? I love traveling, but every time I come home, I love coming home, you know what I'm saying? Phoenix, Arizona is where it's at. We got pretty much everything that you need and nothing you don't, you know what I'm saying? No earthquakes, none of that, dust storms, you know, but that's about as bad as it gets. It's hot, but we deal with it. We're good. Favorite sports teams? I'm so funny. I love sports so much, you know, obviously. So I have a team for almost every sport you can imagine, or every sport that there is. I try to pick an allegiance. But definitely football, it's Dallas Cowboys all day, every day. I grew up, you know what I'm saying, in the late 80s, early 90s when the triplets were coming and doing their thing. So those were some of my earliest memories of watching football. I mean, that's my dad's team too, so watching football with my dad was always very important and stuff like that. So Dallas Cowboys for sure. College football, Georgia, University of Georgia. I have family out there in Georgia, and they raised me the right way on going to games in Athens, Georgia. And once I went to a game there, you know, nothing that ASU or anything like that out here really could compare. So yeah, I became a Georgia fan as a young kid and just stuck with that. That's big time. I was able to go to the Rose Bowl, which was dope. You know what I'm saying? We beat Strizzy Sooners, but that's okay. Basketball, I'm a Lakers fan. Basketball is probably the only time I ever really changed allegiance, honestly. I got to be honest about it, though, because I was a Suns fan, and then I was the biggest Charles Barkley fan. My dad's a Sixers fan, and so I knew who Charles Barkley was, and when he came here, it was like the biggest thing ever. He let a fat kid know he could fly, you know what I'm saying? So I love Charles Barkley, but the only thing is when they got rid of him when he left, that broke my heart. And so that actually, I was like, I can't be a Suns fan, you know what I'm saying? They kind of broke my young heart. So I heard about this dude, Kobe, is supposed to be the next Jordan and going to prom with Moesha and all this stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna check this dude out. He went to the Hornets for a second, then went to the Lakers, and that's how I became a Lakers fan. Had him for those 20 years, thankfully, but yeah. So it was kind of weird too, seeing the Lakers after Kobe, because I was like, man, he's the reason I was a Lakers fan. But by then, you know what I'm saying, I'm used to the colors and everything. Is no going back. Oh, baseball, Kansas City Royals. But I do have to admit, baseball is the one where I'm loyal to the Kansas City Royals. That's my number one, but I always try to say I have my baseball side pieces. I love a lot of different baseball teams. The Mets, I love the Mets. For a while, I didn't even know New York had another team, and when I discovered them, I was like, whoa, it's like a whole new world. So I like the Mets. I like the Dodgers. Dodger Stadium's where I saw my first major league game for real and stuff like that. That was an interesting trip when I was a kid. The Mariners, I love the Mariners because Peoria Sports Complex. I always got to watch them out here in their spring training. My mom would take me to games. So yeah, I built up a lot of different baseball allegiances, but it's got to be the Royals. Hockey, Colorado Avalanche. That's my squad. They're dope. They came around right when I was starting to really discover hockey and understanding the rules and stuff like that. So I kind of picked them as an expansion team, kind of like, you know, how people do. So that's I went for the Avalanche. I also watch soccer, Arsenal, EPL. That's my squad. I love them. And it's funny, I originally just started following them because playing FIFA, and I never wanted to be Man U. Everybody always wanted to be Man U, so I kind of tried to pick a different team, and went with Arsenal. College hoops, I like Kentucky. It's hard not to like them. I kind of watch them. I watch Georgetown because George Thompson back in the day, and then always having the towel and stuff like that. My dad always had a towel, so I like Georgetown too. But yeah, college hoops, I don't get into it as much. I would like to watch the tournament, but I do root for Georgia when they get in. They just hardly get in. But favorite sport to play is definitely baseball. Partly just because it's kind of sad because I don't get to really play baseball. I mean, baseball takes so much equipment, so many people. Like, it's hard to, get that feeling back. But I did play baseball when I was younger. That was probably my best sport. And so I do go to the batting cages every once in a while. I haven't actually been since COVID, but go to the batting cages and, let a few rip and stuff like that. I always want to take batting practice in a real stadium to see how far I can hit. Shout out to Eileen. That video was dope, when she got to do that. So I'm jealous. One day maybe I'll get to do that if they ever open the stadiums again. So, but baseball is definitely my favorite sport to play. Favorite sport to watch is football. Football is just so dope. It's so intricate. You need everybody moving together, and it's better presented, I think, through TV and stuff. It's a really good thing to watch. I like watching NBA though. I watch pretty much every Lakers game. I watch every Cowboys game. Like, I really don't miss. Like, I'm like that kind of person. But basketball is hard to watch because it's long. It takes a while. So sometimes I'll DVR the first 45 minutes and then start watching so I can try to catch up and stuff so it doesn't take so long. But yeah, basketball's hard to watch, but I love watching basketball. But football is just the best format, I think, for sure. Favorite music artist? Yeah, I'm definitely into music. Music's always been a big part of everything I've done. I actually have I'm a partner with Big Haps Ash Music, Arizona Stronghold Music, I should say, a recording studio. So shout out to Haps. He's showed me the way. I used to do music or whatever, have music out and stuff like that. So music's always been cool. It's always been definitely a different way to express yourself. But favorite artist, I would say Biggie of all time, definitely Biggie. He just was so slick, and he only had a couple, a little short period of time, but he left some timeless things for us. Right now, who I'm listening to, I should say my favorite artist, like alive still kind of, or like a newer artist, I guess would be kind of Lil Wayne. He had a big impact on my early 20s and stuff like that. Obviously, that's when he was like mixtape Weezy, just dropping all the time. So I do like Lil Wayne still, but I have to be honest, I don't really listen to his stuff that's recently coming out. But I'll still put on the Carter 2 and all that. So, he has a place for me. Right now, though, I listen to a lot of Larry June. Dom Kennedy's one of my favorite artists, even though he's slowed down. I listen to all kinds of stuff. Sauce Twins, we talked about on the show one time. Shout out to Sauce Twins. Shout out to TSF. They're dope. They're really dope as far as like rap and like harder rap. I listen to a little bit of everything though, honestly. But I right now, I don't know anything I listen to like pop or like jazz or anything like that is like old stuff. I don't know who does new stuff like that. And I don't do country as far as that. Johnny Cage, say old country, but I don't know if that counts or not. Whose feature would I be on? Dang, that's a tough question. If I had to go like all time, but who's still making stuff right now, I would have to say like Busta Rhymes would be dope. Oh, all time, anytime? Oh, I would want to get on a track with Biggie for sure. Because I just think him and I could sit and vibe out and, maybe he could do some flows and stuff like that. I might try to like not emulate his flows, but kind of like I would try to vibe with him and try to, sit down on a track and really work with him. The only hard part about that is obviously if you get on a track with Biggie, he's going to dust you. I mean, there's no question that, you put Picasso next to a third grade drawing, it's not going to be the same. So I don't know, but there's nobody that I could pick that I could probably even get close to. So I might as well just go for the biggest, I would love to be. Come on, that'd be dope. But Outkast would be sick too, because they're still around. Like if they somehow had some type of magical reunion and stuff like that, and I slipped into the studio one day and, was yelling in the background because, they do all the sounds and stuff like that, even that would be the illest, So
what's your favorite music artist? What are you currently listening to now?
Yeah, I currently listen to, I would say, like Sauce Twins, Larry June, Pee Wee Longway, Money Man. I listen to a lot of things that are like right on the edge. Like these people are definitely industry standard and like really good, but maybe not everybody have heard of them. I hesitate with like mainstream stuff for some reason. I'm always like, I gotta go swim upstream and stuff like that. Like I was really into TDE, Black Hippie, and all that before Kendrick, did swimming pools or whatever. Like it was like before that it was dope, but then it got too much. So.
You put me on the baby before the baby started growing up.
Yeah, the baby's another one. Like I was listening to this dude and I was like, this dude's tight, you know what I'm saying? He has all these different flows. But then after like Walker Texas Ranger and all that, like I had already heard like a lot of that like a long time ago. But then it was kind of weird because then after Suge blew up, it was kind of like he's different. Like I haven't been listening to him since then. I haven't listened to none of the new stuff. So I'm kind of weird like that. Like I like to see people that are like on the fringe and really coming up. That's sometimes when you get the best stuff. So.
I was gonna say that's usually the best stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's a couple hobbies outside of what sports outside sports.
Yeah, so well, definitely one of my big hobbies is traveling, which is like coincides with sports for sure. I've been to 25 out of the 30 MLB parks. I'm trying to get to all 30, which was the plan for this year, but we just put that on hold, no problem. But that's the plan for next year now. I do want to get to all 50 states. I've been to like 35 states or something like that. So I need to get to Wyoming and all these other states. So traveling is a big one. Also collecting stuff. I collect Nike sneakers. I don't consider myself a sneakerhead, even though some people do, because it's not on that same level. I really just collect what I like, and I don't really sell, and I don't really get too crazy into it. I try not to buy after. I just try to get it retail. If I get it, I get it. If not, I don't. So what? So
y'all don't say that.
But yeah, so I collect sneakers, I collect toys. I've really been getting into toys lately, like old stuff like that. Old toys and new toys. Funko Pops are obviously big and easy to collect. I have a bunch of those, but also I've been trying to get like some older action figures and stuff like that. Back in the day, I had like a Captain Planet, a certain Captain Planet. I'm looking for that, stuff like that. I've been trying to get into like the more obscure stuff and like into comics and collecting old stuff, but it's hard because it's expensive. But yeah, I'm really into that type of stuff. Also with collecting, I collect a lot of Disney stuff. I like Disney. I try to go to Disney World, Disneyland and stuff like that. That's a big thing with me and my family. So I collect Disney stuff too. Mickey Mouse, that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? I usually keep him with me somewhere. So yeah, collecting, I would say collecting, traveling, music, sports. That's about it. Other than it's been really cool. It's been a fun ride and stuff, getting this far and stuff, but we still have so much to do, and it's been fun, man. But I definitely want to say I appreciate my boy Marcus for inspiring me, keep it moving. My boy Strizzy obviously inspired me and walking with me, and everybody that's been supporting it. Shout out to Myra, our permanent special guest, and shout out to everybody else, that's even checking this video out. So I guess that's all about it.